Hi everyone, it's Kelly from Kelly's Bead Boutique. So the other day, one of my favorite customers came into the store and she was wearing a piece that I designed probably 3 years ago. And I see her wearing it just about every time, and I commented and I said, gosh, you really love that necklace, don't you? She said, yeah, it's one of my favorites, and it's one of my favorite things that you ever made. And yet it is so simple. It's available on a way back Facebook video that's now buried in the archive somewhere. And I thought, well, maybe it's time to bring it out and add just a couple other details to it. So that's what I'm going to do today. So if you want to see what I'm making, come and join me. Okay, so to create our piece today, we're going to be using one of these Breathe connectors. I'm also going to have two other ones. One says Namaste and the other one says Love, so you'll have your choice of those. I also have this little Rivoli bezel holder. I have a Swarovski Rivoli, and I have a little charm. I have a bunch of different size jump rings. And I have these little connectors that I used in one of my last videos on how to end ball chain. So we have some ball chain for this necklace. I have a lobster clasp, some 4mm fire polish beads, and a head pin with a ball on it. We're also going to be using some GS Hypo cement. And for tools, we're going to be using round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, bent chain nose pliers, and cutters. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is get my crystal set inside there. Now you want to make sure when you are setting Swarovski crystals in sort of any bezel setting that you're using the correct glue. You want to use something like the GS Hypo cement or the E6000. You don't want to use any of the other sort of crystalline ones. There's one that people use for leather all the time, and it'll dry too hard and crystally, and also that one off gases a lot, and it can actually cloud over your crystal. So you always want to make sure you're using the right kind of glue. So I'm just going to use a little bit here, and I don't go right up to the edge, because if you go to the edge, what happens is it ends up squishing out the side. So you can see that's about as much glue as I'm using. The hardest part of this whole project is trying to get the cap on. And I don't know if you guys can hear my dog, but she is barking. So obviously somebody is walking by my house. How dare they? We have a Labradoodle and she is crazy. So I'm going to put this inside here, and I'm going to go find out why she's barking. Okay, so before I go find out why the dog is barking, I am going to place that crystal inside there and give it a little push down. And now I'm going to go find out why Henley's barking, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So nobody was trying to break in the house. There was literally somebody parking in front of our house, and our dog was losing her mind. So I only have one of these to do this today, so I hope you guys got that. So I just put a little bit of glue in, and then I set my Rivoli in there, and then I'm going to leave it just to dry. Goodness gracious. I thought filming at home was going to be a lot easier, but when you've got a dog that is about 90 pounds and crazy, it doesn't make it any easier at all. Okay, so let's start assembling this necklace. This one could not get much easier. Okay, so I'm going to open up one of my large jump rings. And again, you always want to bend away. And I'm going to run that through the little heart charm and through the bottom of the Rivoli holder there. I never know what to call that. Bezel, holder, I don't know. I just make things up, because sometimes I forget when I'm filming, what is the technical term for that? And then we're going to open up another one, and then we're going to run it through our Breathe. Now, this is a really great gift. If you're trying to think of something to make one of your girlfriends or your sister or something, this is great. Everybody loves this necklace. It is so simple, but it just looks really cute on. And then now we're going to take another one and run that through the top of that hole. And close that up nice and tight. You always want to make sure that you're opening and closing your jump rings so that they don't overstretch. And then when you put them back, they really just kind of click in there. Okay, so now I want to make my little dangle that I'm going to hang off of it. So I'm going to take my head pin and I'm going to put it through my 4mm fire polish. So now I want to create sort of a messy wrap with no neck on there. So I'm just going to bend away. I just use my thumbnail and press away so that it doesn't really have much of a neck there. Now I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I don't need a very large loop, so I'm going to go towards the end. And I always want to make sure when I start that my pliers are flush with my body. So now I'm going to go up and over and straight down. And now I'm going to open those pliers and rotate them so that they're flush with the table. And then when you pull that to the back, that will create your nice loop. Now it's always off to the side when I do it that way, so I'm going to rotate it a little bit, bringing it so that it's more on top of that bead. Now we're going to wrap that up, and you can use your fingers or your pliers, whichever method works well for you. But we want kind of a chunkier, messy wrap, which some people think is perfect because they're not always easy to do. You sort of have to practice. People ask me all the time, well, how do you get good at that? And well, just practice. Kill a lot of wire and just keep practicing. Now on this one, it's going to be a little hard to get in there to pull that burr down. So I'm just going to grab hold of it with my pliers, and I'm going to take the end of my pliers and just push that burr down a little bit. It doesn't have to go too much because I don't want to, push everything out of the way. I just don't want to have any sharp edges. And now I'm going to take another jump ring, and I'm going to open that up, run it through there, and then we're just going to dangle it off of here. And sometimes you have to open things up a little more than you thought, just to try to get it over there. There we go. That just adds a little extra something on there. So now we just have a little dangle in front of that heart. Okay, so now I'm going to take my ball chain and I'm going to run it through that top. See how I'm getting old? I can't do two things at one time. I'm trying to explain and do. Oh goodness, some days I think, why do you guys watch me? You must think I'm a total clown because I don't always do things in the right method. See, now I shouldn't have put that through there first, right? I should have probably just done it a little bit differently. It does actually fit. It's just me not being able to get it through. Oh, I swear. Okay, so now I want to turn this. If I'm right-handed, I always want to attach my lobster clasp and things like that on the right-hand piece. So that's why I turn that face down. That just helps me remember which side is which. So now I'm going to take this little a bead tip. I was calling it a connector before, but it's a bead tip. I'm having a good video here, aren't I? Oh, goodness. The piece will turn out great. It's just maybe the delivery system today is a bit on the bad side. Okay, so we'll get that in there, and I'm just going to push that around that last little ball there. And now you can see that that's completely encompassed that end and makes it the perfect way to finish it off. So then we are going to take one of our small jump rings and open that up. And I'm going to run it right through those little holes on the end. And then I'm going to attach my lobster clasp. Just do that up nice and tight. Just kind of jiggle it back and forth until it's done up nice and tight. All right. This will be the Comedy of Errors show. All right, I'm going to open up. Oh no, I have to put this on. See, I just can't do anything today. Oh my goodness, I may have to refilm this if I can't edit all this silliness out. But maybe you guys don't mind if I'm being completely silly. Some days things just don't work out perfectly. So all I'm doing is just pushing that around that last piece there, and that just kind of encompasses that and makes it so much easier to finish off ball chain. So tell me in the comments below, do you guys like it when I'm a complete idiot and don't know what I'm doing? Or do you want perfection? Would you rather have somebody super polished, somebody who never makes mistakes, that makes it look really hard to do? Or would you rather have somebody like me who's a realist and makes mistakes and has a dog barking in the background and has things fly out of her hands? Let me know in the comments below. I actually do want to hear what people say, because I think I know what you're going to say, but you know, it never hurts to ask. All right, so I've opened up that jump ring and I'm going to run it through the end there. And then now here I have a closed jump ring. I always want to use a closed jump ring to attach my lobster clasp to. If it's open, it could come open and you might lose your necklace. So I just want to make sure. See, I'm not even opening these up enough today. You know, I've been doing this 17 years. You'd think that I would know to open that up further, right? But that's the way things go sometimes. And then, of course, this one doesn't want to close up, so you just have to show it who's boss and make it close. All right. So now when I go to do that up, I can do that up nice and easily, and it's a nice, secure ending. And look how great that looks. Great. So I'm going to show you the completed necklace. So there you go. There's our completed necklace. I love this sentiment right now because I have literally had to learn how to breathe through all of this. I ended up with a stress-induced illness over COVID, and it was really taking its toll on me, and I was in terrible, terrible pain and so stressed out. So I've had to learn how to breathe and how to relax, which is not something that I'm very, very good at. But anyway, I think this would be a really great gift to give somebody. We do have Christmas coming up in a few months, so if you're trying to think that far ahead, this would make a really great gift. You'll get your choice of the different sentiments. I've got the breathe, love, and namaste. We all have a couple different colors of Rivoli. Here's the black patina, which is my personal favorite. I think it looks fabulous. And then we have our hematite color here. So, and I think this necklace is about 30 or 32 inches long. It's a nice long necklace, and it looks really great when you're wearing it with a, you know, just a simple top. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do want a kit, you just go to the drop-down menu underneath the video, and it'll take you directly to my fully secure website. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I love to hear from everybody. And if you want to subscribe to this crazy channel where things sometimes just go south like this one did, please make sure that you do subscribe, because it really does help out my channel. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you didn't mind all the guffaws. Thank you again, and we'll see you on the next one.